Welcome to the Florida College Access Network 2020 Workforce Education Innovator Awards. Each year, FCAN recognizes college and career professionals who go the extra mile, working tirelessly to support students in building brighter futures utilizing innovative strategies. FCAN is so pleased to honor Mitch, Career Specialist at Broward County Public Schools, as a 2020 Workforce Education Innovator. Mitch believes that all young people deserve another chance to be great. He distinguished himself dedicating nearly 30 years encouraging justice-involved youth to re-engage after confinement. Mitch single-handedly forged hundreds of partnerships with various organizations to provide job and career opportunities for youth with records. He enlists these organizations to come into juvenile justice facilities, provide inspiration, participate in college and career fairs, and provide job training at no cost. Every student at his site participates in college and career readiness opportunities. 100% of these students create a career portfolio, and over 15% of them obtain gainful employment even while still serving in a juvenile justice program. This encourages school completion. Mitch has a knack for seeing beyond circumstance and encouraging others to see potential in even the most at-risk student. He is fearless in asking companies to commit to employing students with misdemeanors and felony charges, taking them under their wing and helping them become productive citizens. He has changed the life trajectory of hundreds of students, and for that, FCAN is thrilled to honor him as a 2020 Workforce Education Innovator. Congratulations, Mitch.
Thank you very much.
We are so excited to have you with us today and really hear more about your work. You know, when I think about the nomination for you, one of the things that they talked about is how you've been so successful getting employers to employ students with misdemeanor and felony convictions and guiding their success. How have you shifted employers' perceptions to see the potential in a student with a record?
Well, you know, I always try to build a relationship with the company first before I kind of start getting students involved, so they're kind of more friendly with me. And then what we do is I go in and first thing I always tell them, I said, I'm not asking you to hire the student. That's not my job. My job is to get them an interview, and that's the only thing that I ask you to do is give them the interview. And also too, I always give them, I don't go into exact details of the background. I do say they are in juvenile justice or they had a felony charge or whatever. And overall, like 90% of them, they say that's no problem. And they're like me. They believe people deserve, a second chance to, to improve their life. It takes me probably about a month and going there a couple times a week, build that relationship. So when I walk into their store or company, they know who I am. They don't say, that guy looks familiar. They know, oh, here comes Mitch. I have a lot of partners that we work with. We have had people with felony charges hired. But like I said, most of the people I deal with, companies and stuff, they believe in giving second chances.
Nice. And that's what I think we love so much about your work is nobody wants to be viewed as who they were on their worst day. I mean, all of us have made mistakes of one sort or another. And, once you can help a student begin to envision that brighter future, you give them something to work towards. Part of what we shared is that you have all of your students complete a career portfolio. So can you tell us a little bit about what that entails and how does this help students begin to envision their own potential?
A lot of my kids are going to say, like probably 90% of the students have never had a job before. So they'll say, well, why do I need this? Why do I need that? I said, you're providing a snapshot in a few words. Are you going to be a good fit for this company? I always go online and pull up a real application, and I pull it up and I tell them to do their homework. And their homework is just don't do the application, read the entire thing. What type of person are they looking for? What are their core values? Use those in your answers when when you're doing your interview, so they put that into their uh, the portfolio. And so what the usually, and what I try to do is sneak it in as a 2-in-1 with the it kind of being a resume with that. And so like I'll ask them, okay, in the portfolio you're going to put what your name is, your the are you a junior or a senior at whatever high school you put, and then you put something in like, and in my spare time, I like hanging out with my friends or just listening to music, and then I'll have them to come in like on an interview strength, on an interview question is, what are your greatest strengths? Well, instead of putting that in the portfolio, I work well with others on school projects, and I think I could work well with anybody on the job. And also they put the key word in, being on time. I'm always on time for school. That relates to, okay, then if you're on time all the time at school, then you're probably going to be on time at work. And then I'll try to have them put in something about their neighbors who would recommend them for a position. And so I tell them that, use a neighbor maybe that you cut grass for that would vouch for you, that every time you come over to cut the grass, you did when you say you're going to do it. And then mention something about your career goals. If it's in culinary, I love to cook at home. I cook all the time, and that's a career goal. I like to be a chef somewhere. There's probably 10 other people that they're going to be interviewing, and they don't want a 10-page essay about your life in Carolina, and then when you moved here and this and that. So we try to just get to the meat and potatoes of what we want on that.
Well, and what you're sharing is really helping them understand some of those, career readiness steps that we take for granted, but if you've never been through that process, you're not going to know it. And so how do you connect some of those life skills and translate them into skills that an employer would value, and you're really helping to connect the dots for them on that. Now, you have a strength in seeing the potential in even the most at-risk student. Can you share a story of a student who came back from making maybe not the best decisions to building a life that they're now proud of?
Yes, ma'am. And this young man who I'm going to tell you about, he was at the detention center. He could not. He'd been trying to get a job. He couldn't find a job, so he went back to his old ways, and he got caught. And he was 18 years old, and the judge told him, the next time you come before me, you are going to go to jail. And so what happened was one of the guards or security people approached me and said, "Hey, this kid, he's really good. He just needs that little extra help." And I said, "Okay, no problem." And the job happened to be at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I had a nice relationship with the general manager. I went in, explained everything to him, what he done. And so he went in for the interview. The general manager loved him. He hired him. He was there for like 3 years, and now he's assistant manager in training at a Chili's. He wanted to move up the ladder.
That's great. And that's so much of what this work is about, is every student has potential in them. Sometimes they just forget it, or to what you were sharing earlier, they don't know the steps to take, and so it's easier to fall back on what they know. But with a little bit of guidance and a little bit of mentoring and nurturing and demystifying some of those steps, you can really help these students move forward. Mitch, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for all of the work that you're doing to build brighter futures for our students. We at FCAN are thrilled to recognize you as a workforce education innovator this year. Thanks again.
Oh, thank you for having me.